And then this is what dropped in. It's still the caldera of a volcano.
In this video, we're going to hike to a hydrothermal area at what is colloquially known as the Yellowstone of California. The United States has been divided into 25 physiographic provinces. Each has a specific character, relief, and environment which contributes to its distinctiveness. Within the Cascade Sierra province lies Lassen Volcanic National Park. Driving to Lassen from Reno, Nevada takes you along the border between the Cascade Sierra and the Basin and Range provinces. Basin and Range alternates between narrow faulted mountain chains and flat arid valleys. Cascade Sierra is a mountainous province formed by a chain of volcanoes. Those that form the Sierra Nevada range are long extinct and buried deep within the earth, but the Cascade Range is much younger and still active today. Lassen Volcanic National Park is the southernmost volcanic area in the Cascade Range. It's named in honor of a Danish blacksmith who guided immigrants past the area during the 1830s. Today we're hiking to one of its hydrothermal areas called the Bumpass Hell, which is named after another mountaineer who lost his leg after stepping through the crust into an acid mud pot. You could say, don't wander off the trail is the important lesson here. The easiest way to see this area is to hike from the Bumpass Hell parking area along Highway 89. But we picked a more challenging hike. We parked at the Kings Creek picnic area and took the cold boiling lake trail to Bumpass Hell. This out and back trail can be found on all trails. It's 5 miles round trip and 980 feet of climb. We first set up camp at the Summit Lake South campground to the ominous sound of thunder.
So we are hiking towards the rainstorm. Well, you only live once.
This is cold boiling lake.
Very cool.
We're walking towards greater volcanic activity. We're gonna go walk around this lake and then that way. So we might have a little climb coming, buddy.
All right.
Okay.
So you think we're gonna maybe go up to that peak or something, or maybe just this rise?
I mean, we could pull out the map, but let's not. I think we're just gonna keep going slowly out of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think we're gonna head over to that peak.
Awesome. And I just turned the camera on late, but Mike was pointing out the ferns just started.
What do you suppose the white stuff is? Are those mushrooms by chance?
Probably. Yeah, the white freckles.
Yeah, I think they might be.
Well, at least the rain looks like it's pushed off.
Yeah.
When you point your finger this way, is it like the real cool mushrooms, or is it the amazing mountain lake with geothermal activity, or is it the awesome, sorry, I didn't get what you were pointing at. We just noticed, we were sad about these trees being dead, but they're not dead. This red fir, probably the biggest one on this hillside. You look up at the top, he's got some growth coming in.
They have green. Is that green up there? I can't tell.
I'll zoom in, but I'm pretty sure you can see on the other tree right here also, you got some growth. And you were saying,
As long as I understand it, as long as the fire does not penetrate and the bark and doesn't kill the tree by disrupting its bark, like this one, they can come back. They can actually withstand some pretty sizable temperatures because there's they have natural insulation to fires in their bark.
they just know how thick it needs to be from so many years of learning and being around on this planet.
Yep. But they're really they're really good, I think, for fires up to 300 to 500 degrees. I want to say 300 degrees. When they start getting above 300 degrees, you start compromising that.
They must have
That bark.
evolutionarily found that was the right cutoff point.
Yep. And that's the issue with these big, huge mega blazes is they pop up those temperatures higher than the trees can handle.
And what has naturally
Right.
occurred over the
So to your point,
geologic
right? I mean,
time.
like, we need to let fires go. I mean, in natural areas, we need to let fires do their job.
It's so pretty right now. I'd love to explore all the plants in this little meadow. You got something to say, friend?
The guy down there is like,
You needed a shelter for the night, man.
dude, right? Yeah, you're not kidding, dude.
Crumball?
Crumbaugh.
Oh,
CRUMBAUGH.
just like
Crumball.
scumball. Can you hear the frogs down here?
We're passing through burn scar from the Dixie Fire of 2021, the largest ever in California. This fire was ignited by a tree falling on a power line, but there are several background factors which led to its size and intensity, including many years of misguided fire suppression policy that resulted in little fire history for most of the area. Plus, 2021 was an extremely dry year.
Look at those mushrooms. They go all the way from the very bottom on that big one, all the way to about 20 feet from the top.
Oh, yeah, you can see those little specks.
It's like a little mini world in there, man. Look at that. What's that? I don't know what that's called.
I would guess willow.
Willow?
Yep. What the hell is that? It's like right in front of me.
Yeah, I guess it's a grasshopper.
Way to scare it, Mike. It sounded like somebody was talking up ahead in the trail.
I thought it sounded like a frog at first. We'll be at 11,000 feet, but the Tahoe peaks are at 10 with the curvature of the earth. I don't think we'd be able to see up and over and into the basin to see the lake, but you never know.
Yeah, right.
Watch your head. Neat little enclave here.
I can really smell that sulfur. Mike put one over on me and said it was just as chilly from last night. And I kind of believed him for a second. Like, he gaslit me.
And Mike's butt stinks.
But turns out he came clean, and indeed we are smelling sulfur.
Boy, I really did pick a trail to go straight up. Had no idea. I thought we were just going to meander for a bit.
Good miss.
I love it. No, and I do love it, to be clear. You know, Greg, one thing I think would be neat to do,
Huh?
we drove past Peter Lassen's grave site in Susanville. You need to know a little bit more about this Peter Lassen. Who he was, what he thought,
Yeah, man.
how this magnificent park came to be named after him. I'd like to know a little bit more about that.
I mean, must have done something special to have a volcanic area named after him. I haven't heard of Mike's Volcanic National Park yet.
No, either that or he might have been an early sufferer of Crohn's disease. And was known in town for his explosive diarrhea. They didn't really know what it was at that time.
Could be that.
You know, maybe for a while there,
The Lassen family was real pretty gassy, you know.
yeah, they just said, oh, I lost, and, you know, they made it a verb for a while.
We'll probably be able to confirm those facts at the museum.
Not at the stop off.
There's so many benefits to all of us that you organize this trip, Mike. It's much appreciated.
Oh, thanks, man. It is, you know, you got to have people willing to do it. And as long as we have that, we can just keep doing it.
That sounds all right. Well, maybe the rain didn't go away. Is there a campsite down that way?
Yeah.
All right. Let me put the rain tarp up.
I hit the boys' room real quick.
Think she's gonna blow?
Hope not.
I like how someone just knocked it over, just discarded it. I reject your messaging.
Illegal trail, my ass. Get me peeing on it on the way back. Look at that. Look at that little algae. There's algae hanging in there.
So it looks like this is 0.1 miles.
These hot, murky pools of acid are home to single-celled extremophiles in the Sulfolobus genus. The acidity can be as strong as the liquid in your car battery, yet these oddballs survive and thrive almost wherever there is volcanic activity around the world.
Dude, this is really interesting right here, because this shows you what this same feature looks like in different years, and you can tell how much water we've had by how high it is.
I'm trying to digest what you just says that with the sign
This
saying.
is, yeah, showing you in dry years it sinks down, in wet years it comes up, and we had a big wet year.
I can feel the ground shaking.
Yes. Yep.
It's like rumbling like like an earthquake.
This used to go like that, up and over that thing and up to there, and they got rid of it. Dude, that looks like, right there, that white rock with the little things on it, looks like a skull.
Yeah, I see it too.
The uniqueness of these hydrothermal areas creates a palette of colors not often seen in landscapes.
So grateful to understand what's going on, you know. What must somebody 500 years ago came upon this thing.
Yeah, I think we did Broke-Off Mountain. Highly recommend this this kind of hat though.
But it does cover your neck, in all seriousness.
Yes. And then I don't have to worry as much about getting the sunscreen up on the forehead or around the eyes. I just need to get the lower stuff. I'm better looking from behind than looking at me head on. Well, my wife says, "What are you gonna do? You want to do just chicken one night and sausage the other? Or you want to mix it up?" Might be easier just to do one protein, honestly.
I'm not a gigantic eater at dinner time because I have what's known as breakfast and lunch.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, that's these two other times I eat during the day. I don't know if you've thought about trying that, but I'm not so hungry that I'm pondering, should I have sausage and chicken and maybe a steak, or just sausage and a chicken. I'm excited to see if you like that lime cumin mix with garlic powder, salt, and pepper. You just marinated that, and don't over marinate. Do it for 30 minutes with a little bit of olive oil in there to kind of make it sticky. And man, it's delicious. It's tropical.
But it turns out paprika is made from peppers, and those peppers come from Central America.
Oh,
But
I would not have thought that.
They were taken, they were planted, they just happened to grow really, really well. So well that it was just really easy for peasants to be able to cook with it because it was everywhere. And it just became a part of the Hungarian cuisine, like a staple. That was what, if you use pepper in something, that's what you use. I'm gonna have to stretch out the legs tonight. Definitely throwing a little pressure on those knees.
I so don't like cold water.
It sucks at first. I mean, it sucks for the first couple of weeks. You're like, what the hell am I doing? This is stupid. There's a reason I was born in this century. You know? Or last century, I guess. But the more you do it, the more you actually kind of start to crave it. Like, I would love to go and get back and just take an ice cold shower. Just wake up and just get revitalized by that. The other thing that I learned is, I don't know, is that there are two other things that they think also help with longevity. One is infrared light.
What?
Infrared light, because the mitochondria that you have in your body. Oh, you okay? Shit.
No, I'm all good. These are Traction New Balance.
Apparently, the mitochondria in your body get excited and or like motivated and kind of amp up their productivity in response to infrared light. And so they think, again, the infrared light is dealing with these mitochondria, and these mitochondria have properties that really help with cell repair. Like if they're active and healthy, then your cell repair is up. Your the killing off of bad cells and the promotion of healthy cells. It kind of keeps all that stuff working really well. So that's another thing that they're looking into as a possible way to add longevity.
It's so cool that you know all this. How do you get your information?
That is from the Wall Street Journal.
Both of them?
Both of them, yeah, yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not exactly a institution that would throw out crackpot stuff, man. There must be some real science behind it.
And it just makes sense to me that keeping that, that blood supply working and pumping to extremities But that makes a ton of sense. The other thing, going back to this article I read in the Wall Street Journal, was that they think that the cold, like just hitting you with the cold. Now they were talking about like cryo chambers and things like that, and I'm not doing that shit. But they think that it creates stress. And every time you're doing it, you're getting better and better at controlling your mind's reaction to stress.
Oh, I like that. That's an interesting.
So you're not like, oh my God, it's so fucking cold, I'm gonna fucking die. You're like, it's okay. People took showers like this every day. No, I'm sorry, every 2 weeks, 150 years ago. So man up, take your fucking shower.
See how it's raining?
Oh, it's beautiful, dude. Oh, dude.
Here's kind of the spent flower of that plant we were looking at earlier, and that flower looks like a buckwheat flower. Cool. So that was how many? 2.5 liters?
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. I've barely had a liter. I mean, I'm thirsty, but I'm choosing to film over drinking water. Yeah, I think it's good to record little logistical things like how much water.
Yeah.
I mean, people are interested in knowing that information. So between the two of us, it ranged from 1 liter to 2.5 liters. Hope that's helpful.
I was like, I had coffee this morning. I drank about a half an Algene of water on the way out. I had all that jerky with all that salt.
Oh, and then you had a Teddy Brewski before the hike.
Maybe a couple.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's a good idea to hydrate. You got a big hike tomorrow, so let's make sure we're keeping the balance here.
All right, so the guide is if you didn't slam coffee and beer before your hike, 1 liter of water will do you okay.
If you're getting a cooler packed with beer to hang out with some friends, yeah, throw it all in. Bring it. Just in case. What if people show up? I thought about that yesterday. I'm like, oh, well, Greg will have 2 beers and I'll have 2.
It'll be more than 2.
2 of my Michelob Ultras. And then we bumped into Dan and I'm like, oh, come on down, right? And I should have just thrown the cooler full of beer. I had plenty of room. Why not?
Speaking of learning, a good backup is I've learned a tequila flask is always a popular item at the end of a day.
Not? What if you need a nip? What if you just need a little something? What if you bump into somebody who hails from Mexico on the trail and only drinks tequila? I'm sorry, where are my manners? I won't,
I must be Mexican because I do enjoy a tequila.
I must not be.
Oh.
Not a fan.
Do you like any kind of liquor?
Not really.
Yeah, rarely for me too, but unfortunately it's usually at the end of a night of already having fun.
If I'm gonna do a shot, it's we probably knew this about each other at some point, but it would always be Jägermeister.
Ugh.
Always. I can put that stuff down.
Ugh.